I had a meltdown last week and a bad one at that. Throughout my Christmas holidays, I was preoccupied with completing coursework for my university course, and I had set aside all of last week for me to revise for a major exam 2 days ago. I was pretty stressed as is, and my parents, who run a business, regularly rely on me to help them run it as an effective volunteer and for long and difficult hours extending into the new day. I have been juggling my uni commitments last semester alongside working for 14, 21, or even 28 hours per week for their sake, and I was pretty burnt out and at unease with my parents not showing any gratitude for my sacrifices. I gave my dad some notice before last week to tell him that I needed the extra time to make sure I could stay on track. I didn't get it. One evening, it was too much, and I bawled my heart out in the back before my dad threatened me to remain tight-lipped. My mom was no help, either. She met my father's inconsideration for the enormous pressure I was facing. Neither of them went to university, they weren't equipped to deal with it. The same people who advised me to concentrate on my studies were jeopardizing my revision. Granted, their situation at the shop isn't easy on them, but that is merely an explanation to their behavior, and not a justification by any stretch. My exam came along and it happened. I prevailed in the end, but the pressure was excruciating. With the background established, here comes the part of interest. Fridays are busy days, and my dad typically opens up shop before my mom arrives, either with me or without me. On quieter weeks, she'll leave me at home to give me some much-needed time to get things done. The tacit agreement between us until last week, probably due to my outburst, was that she would notify me, on 5 minutes' notice, whether I was coming or not between 4 and 6 p.m., variable times of departure. I had not been explicitly made known of any changes to this when she up and disappeared without going to my room as she usually does. I thought nothing of it and assumed the shop wasn't busy, so I resumed working in my room. My dad texts me and curses me over the phone, saying I'm lazy and that I was hiding in my room because I don't want to work, though the opposite was true. With my exam out of the way, I was more than willing to come at the word of my mother, which never came. He asked rhetorical questions, feigning interest in what I had to say, and my mother also cursed me out for not being ready downstairs and asking her at 4 p.m. sharp if she was ready to go, as though this was our established regime. Worse yet is that they poisoned one of the staff members against me with their own biased account of events, and she was extremely distant with me, making the workplace more dreadful and hostile to me once I was able to get there. AITA for not meeting their expectations and being ready on a busy day like Friday?